What's up, Chevy, GM owners, Suburban owners, whoever's watching this? So I had a problem where my rear seat would not fold down, and I could not fold it down, couldn't get it out of the way. And I figured out how to fix it. It's actually a lot easier than some posts or some videos would tell you. If you have the same problem, there's a good chance it might be an easy fix. I'll show you how to do it. Step one is, this is my rear seat. Rear right seat has two reclining mechanisms in it and a lever behind this one. You pull the lever and it should fold the seat down. This one was not engaging. I could tell based on struggling with it. So step one is there are two screws in here. They're T30 heads, Torx 30 heads. So you got to get a screwdriver or a drill that'll fit in there. Just kind of smush the seat out of the way. Got one there. Probably see the other one up there. You can smush the fabric out of the way for this first one. Probably smush it out of the way far enough to get something on that back one. But what you're going to try to do is get inside this housing and get this cover off. Once you get those two screws out, you can actually pull this cover up out of the way. And then I'll show you what to do after that. So I'll be right back. Hi, what's up? I just wanted to show you how to fix a rear Suburban seat or similar seat that will not recline, or will not go down so you can't remove it. Because I'll tell you real quick, these things work in sequence if you don't understand it. First, you lay the seat down with this lever, then use this lever to flip it up or to disengage the rear hooks. And then you pull this handle pretty firmly and it pulls straight back on the tracks. But this won't work until this is disengaged, and this won't recline unless the rear hooks are engaged. So now it comes out. I can show you some of that. So again, these rear hooks, use a crowbar or something to engage it. Do the same over here. Sorry, it's not easy to do one-handed. There you go, fully engage that. And once those are engaged, this mechanism works. And you can either stand up the seat or lay it down. So just so you have an understanding of, like, these three levers work in sequence. And then one thing to remember is when you're putting it back down, you need to pull that lever and actually push this up with your finger. I'm going to do that. Pry it open with your finger, which I'm not having much success with right now. But you have to do that before you put it back in. Okay, so like I said, if one seat will get out of your way, then you can work on this. If both seats get out of your way, man, I don't know. You'd be pretty stuck. But I was able to get one seat out of the way, and in fact, I've already fixed this one. I just pulled it back here to where I can work on it and show you. But if you can get one seat out of your way, like I said, these two screws, 1 and 2 up here that you can't really see. There's one right there. You just got to you got to muscle your way through past the fabric with a T30 head. So you have to take at least one out. Ideally take both out, but if you get just the one out, I was able to pry the housing off that and get to what I needed to get to. But it seems like you can actually really muscle this out of the way, and at least with a screwdriver, if not a drill, you can get to that upper screw. So I was able to get to that. And just pull the screw out and get it out of your way. And then again, I've already fixed this, so it's a little easier to show you what you need to do. But now that you have those screws out of there, you just gotta pry this out of the way. It's kind of clipped in there too. So pry from the front or back until it snaps loose. So again, you're working from the back of this. It might be locked in position. So you have to, just take a screwdriver or something and kind of pry that So it clicks open. And then this is, like I said, this is step one. You can't get your seat out. It's really hard to do unless you have all the other parts of the seat already taken off, like the bottom parts. Basically, once you unclip that from the other side of it, it just kind of lifts out. Or at the very least, just pry it further out of the way. Ow. But if you get yourself enough room, what you do is there's a black knob in there with a cable on it that when you pull the right or the recline lever, it should pull that little stainless steel braided cable and engage that mechanism. So if that cable, the main problem is that cable is not pulling, because I'll show you later and soon, a really easy fix, a clip came loose on the other side. But before you can do any of that, you have to get it to recline. So you just put a screwdriver in there and brace it on that black knob and shove it forward. And then pull your lever. So while I've got it shoved forward, it just popped forward about an inch. Then you just pull your lever and your seat will go down. So, once that's done, you've pried yourself in there, you gave yourself enough room to do that. There's the end of that steel cable, if you can see it. And what was happening was I was pulling this lever and that wasn't actually moving the way it should. I don't know if you could just see that, but I'll show you better in just a minute. I'm sweating like crazy because it's hot out here. So step one is get it to recline, or get it to lay down. Once you get it to lay down, you can disengage the rear hooks, which will let it stand up like this in a spot. And then once it can stand up, you pull this lever, and that's what lets it come out. You pull that lever. Guys, I need you to be quiet. You pull that lever hard, and that's what pulls it out of its tracks. I mean, start to finish. I mean, assuming you have another working seat, you know what I'm talking about. Lay it down. You have the ability to stand it up once you pull that, and pull it out of its tracks. Once you get it unstuck from reclining, and a lot of people have said that their seat's stuck in the down position too, and I think it's the same problem. So if you have that problem, it's a pretty easy fix. So again, what you do now, and I'll just walk you through it real quick. You say everything is a T30 bit in this. So the front left corner, you've got one screw. Your back left corner, you have one screw. And then this whole side panel comes off. Just you give it a pull. It's clipped on the bottom, so you kind of got to get it started from the front. Make sure it unclips from the bottom. So what we're doing there is, it's clipped on this line. You just got to get these to unclip, and then the whole thing just comes off. And then what you're doing next is just the one screw here. And then one screw at this corner. And that's about it. I didn't need to take off this side. This is the right side of my right seat. I didn't have to take all that off, because once I got these two screws out, this whole bottom panel, once it's situated around the levers and everything, comes off really pretty easy. And again, it's clipped on this far right side. It's clipped in here, so there's some clips that you got to break loose there. It'll snap open, but it won't break. So usually if you just hit it, I hit it like that in the right direction. As long as you hit it in the right direction, it's fine. But now you've got the underside of your seat exposed. So what you have here is, like I said, this, here, I'll show you better. This is that same housing from earlier. Now that I got all the pieces out of the way, it comes out a lot easier. Again, you get it unclipped, pull it up out of the way. This is the mechanism that this wire has some slack in it, but mine had too much slack in it. So I realized I had to reach in here and manually engage that recline mechanism. Because when you pull the lever, it should engage it. That's me pulling the lever, engaging that pull. So it wasn't doing that. So I literally just took a crowbar, braced it right there, and you can just push it. Once that's pushed, you can pull your lever and your seat will come loose. So anyway, got it all taken down, all the covers off of it. And this is the key. That cable comes down here. It's this U-shaped route. Comes down from the Lego. It comes down from the seat. Comes down from the recline mechanism. Routes in a U-shape to this cable. And it comes up here right to that lever. And what I did was I just pulled this out of the way. I was trying to figure out why it wouldn't. And right there is why it wouldn't pull. There's a white clip which holds the black sleeve in place while the lever pulls the steel cable. So all that had happened was, and this is why it's such an easy fix, if you can just get to this clip, you'll fix it. That white clip had come out of the steel plate. So all I had to do in there, when I came to it, that white clip was actually just this side of the steel plate. All I had to do was reach in here and push that, I don't know how well you can see it, push that white clip into the steel plate. And then all of a sudden, instead of pulling on the housing itself, and this whole black sleeve was moving and had a lot of play in it, all of a sudden that black sleeve then is mounted firmly again, and the lever works the mechanism again, and now everything works. So that's it. I mean, you just need to get to that clip, make sure it's mounted, and then there's no reason that your lever shouldn't be pulling on that steel cable sufficiently to recline your seat. And once you mount that and you have adequate tension on that cable, then you're good to go. I mean, the mechanism's working. Just put it all back together and you're up and running again. Hope that fixes it for you. It was a hot, sweaty project, but it turned out to be a lot easier than I thought.